Welcome back to LUK Podcast, Philippe. Today we're going to be diving into something pretty fascinating,
Yeah.
music and artificial intelligence.
Cool.
So we're going to uncover the story behind the Beatles' 2023 release, Now and Then, a track that was finalized with the help of AI,
Wow.
and then kind of broaden our scope and explore the state of AI music tools in 2025 and their impact on the music industry in general.
Yeah, it's really remarkable how AI enabled the completion of a Beatles song decades after the band's, final release.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because this wasn't a case of creating something entirely new.
Right.
This was about revealing what was already there,
Yeah.
hidden within an old demo.
Yeah, it really highlights how AI can be used to enhance and breathe new life into existing creative works.
Absolutely.
So for our listeners who, maybe aren't as familiar with this story, could you break down exactly how AI was applied to this particular case?
Sure. So John Lennon recorded a demo of Now and Then back in the 1970s.
Go.
And the challenge was isolating his vocals from the piano track. So they used a technology called machine audio learning,
Okay.
or ML for short,
Gotcha.
to meticulously separate those audio elements.
Mm-hmm.
That process is called demixing.
Okay.
It's kind of like if you can imagine trying to extract a single instrument from a complex orchestral recording.
Okay.
That's sort of what they were doing with John Lennon's voice.
So the AI wasn't composing in this instance. It was more like an incredibly precise audio editor.
Precisely.
Okay.
And what that did was it allowed the producers to work with Lennon's voice in a way that was previously impossible.
Uh-huh.
And then the surviving Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, they added their own instrumental contributions, creating this really unique blend of old and new.
And the result was a Grammy-nominated song.
That's right.
So it really begs the question, what else is possible with AI?
Yeah.
What other AI tools are changing the music landscape in 2025?
Well, we're seeing an explosion of creativity driven by AI tools.
Right.
That are designed for both professional musicians and also casual creators.
Yeah.
So platforms like Musen, developed by Meta,
Okay.
allow users to input text descriptions almost like you're writing musical stage directions.
Interesting.
And then the AI will generate a corresponding piece of music.
That sounds incredibly intuitive.
Yeah.
But how about creating longer, more complex pieces?
Well, that's where Google's MusicLM comes in.
Okay.
So you can provide incredibly detailed text prompts
Wow.
specifying, what instruments you want, mood, tempo, even the intended emotional arc of the music.
That's incredible.
And then it will output high-fidelity compositions.
It's like you're describing a musical journey, and then the AI translates that vision into a finished track.
Exactly.
That opens up so many possibilities, not only for songwriting, but for things like film scoring,
Yeah.
video game music,
Absolutely.
and so much more.
Yeah, and it's not just about composition either.
Okay.
There are platforms like Soundful, which focus on generating royalty-free music for content creators.
Okay.
So this is a game changer for, independent filmmakers.
Right.
Anyone who needs custom soundtracks
Yeah.
without having to navigate the complexities of, licensing agreements.
I can imagine that's really helpful for people just starting out or people with limited budgets.
Definitely.
These tools all sound incredibly user-friendly.
Right.
But what about musicians and producers who want more hands-on control over the final product?
Well, that's where tools like Loudly come in.
Oh.
They combine AI generation with robust editing suites, giving users the flexibility to tweak and refine the AI's output.
Gotcha.
So it's not just about accepting what the AI gives you. You can actually mold it to your liking.
Okay.
Then there are specialized tools like Beatoven AI, which excels in creating adaptive soundtracks.
Interesting.
These soundtracks dynamically adjust based on what's happening on screen.
Wow.
So it's perfect for, video games and interactive media.
It's fascinating to see how quickly this technology is evolving.
It really is.
Have established artists started incorporating these tools into their creative process yet?
Definitely. We've seen artists like Stromae who used AI to co-compose his song Hello Shadow. So the AI generated various musical ideas and then he curated and arranged them into the final track.
Wow.
And Benoît Carré took it a step further.
Yep.
He collaborated with an AI to create an entire album called Hello World.
An entire album.
Yeah, it was a truly groundbreaking project.
It seems like we're really on the cusp of a new era in music with AI playing an increasingly significant role.
It does, doesn't it?
But what does this mean for the future of human creativity?
Yeah, it's exciting to see how these AI tools can, augment creativity. But I think there are some people who are concerned about the potential downsides.
Right.
What are some of the ethical considerations that we need to be mindful of as AI becomes more prevalent in music creation?
Well, it raises questions about, the very definition of creativity and authorship.
Right.
If an AI can generate a hit song, who truly owns it?
Yeah.
Is it the developer of the AI?
Mm.
Is it the user who input the prompts? Or does the AI itself have any claim? That's a good question.
These are uncharted legal territories that we're going to have to navigate.
Yeah, and what about the potential impact on musicians and the music industry as a whole?
Right.
I mean, could we see a scenario where AI-generated music just floods the market, making it even harder for human artists to break through?
It's a valid concern. Some people fear that reliance on AI could homogenize music,
Yeah.
leading to a loss of diversity and those unique perspectives that human artists bring to the table.
Right.
But on the other hand, some argue that AI could actually democratize music creation,
Interesting.
empowering anyone with a story to tell to bring their musical ideas to life.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword
Is.
with potential benefits and risks.
Absolutely.
What about the issue of authenticity?
Yeah.
I mean, is there a fundamental difference between a song composed by a human and one generated by an algorithm?
That's a question that's sparking a lot of debate.
Yeah.
Some argue that AI-generated music just lacks that emotional depth and genuine expression that comes from human experience.
Yeah.
But others believe that, emotion is subjective and that an AI fed on a vast data set of human music can effectively tap into and replicate those emotions.
So it's almost like, is the AI just mimicking, or is it actually feeling?
Yeah, that's the question.
It seems like the key is finding a balance,
Right.
harnessing the power of AI while still preserving that human element that makes music so powerful.
Absolutely.
Are there ways to mitigate the potential negative impacts
Yeah.
and ensure that AI is used ethically in music creation?
I think open dialogue and collaboration are going to be crucial.
Okay.
We need to have musicians, developers, and policymakers all working together,
Right.
to establish clear guidelines for copyright and ownership in this age of AI-generated music. And perhaps most importantly, we need to foster an environment where human creativity is valued and nurtured,
Yeah.
even as AI tools become more sophisticated.
So what does the future hold?
It's hard to say.
I mean, will AI become a collaborator or a competitor to human musicians?
It's still too early to say for sure. It's likely that we'll see a kind of hybrid landscape emerge,
Right.
with some artists embracing AI as a creative partner,
Yeah.
while others might choose to remain purely acoustic. But the most exciting possibility is that AI could push the boundaries of what's possible in music,
Absolutely.
leading to new genres, new sounds,
Right.
and entirely new ways of experiencing and interacting with music.
It's fascinating stuff. We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
The story of now and then.
Right.
And how AI is changing the music landscape.
Absolutely.
As we wrap up,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything else you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, I'd like to leave our listeners with a thought.
Okay, go ahead.
Imagine a future
Yeah.
where AI can analyze your personal data,
Mm-hmm.
not just your listening habits,
Okay.
but things like your mood, your heart rate, even your sleep patterns,
Oh.
and then create a personalized soundtrack tailored to your exact emotional and physiological needs.
That's both incredible and a little unsettling.
Right.
It raises a lot of questions about privacy and, the potential for manipulation.
Exactly. As AI becomes more intertwined with our lives, we need to be mindful of those implications.
Yeah, I mean, will we become so reliant on these personalized soundtracks that we lose touch with the shared experience of music?
It's possible.
Will algorithms be dictating our emotions?
It's a crucial question to consider.
Definitely, as we've seen, AI has the power to both enhance and disrupt the world of music.
That's right.
I think ultimately the future will be shaped by the choices we make, the guidelines we establish, and the conversations we have about the role we want AI to play in our lives.
I agree. So I encourage everyone to continue exploring this fascinating and evolving landscape.
Yeah.
Consider the possibilities, the potential pitfalls, and most importantly, your own relationship with music in this new era.
That wraps up our deep dive into AI and music. We hope you found it insightful and thought-provoking.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more fascinating deep dives into the world of technology and culture.